Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be tackling finally our lime green bathroom that is right outside of our theater room. I have been struggling with this space because I have so many ideas and it's not a very large bathroom, so I don't want to go overboard, and I also wanted to feel cohesive, so I've had a hard time kind of like figuring out exactly where we want to go with this space. But I am feeling comfort in knowing that we can't make it worse than it is right now. We have your two-toned chrome and gold fixtures everywhere. The faucet, the toilet paper holder that, by the way, doesn't really work, so we pretty much always just sit the toilet paper on top of it. We also have, obviously, the elephant in the room, which is the shiny lime green paint all over every single wall. We also have remaining holes in the wall from the previous owners. And to finish it all off, we have builder grade oak cabinets. So we are going to be changing just about every surface in this bathroom. We're doing it on a budget, except we are going to be keeping the countertop. That's something we would love to replace eventually, but today it's just not in the budget. And as much as I don't love the look of, you know, like the sink built into the countertop, with boys, with young kids, it's actually like the easiest to clean. So we're just gonna leave that as it is. Maybe one day we'll do an upgrade to that, but today we are going to be doing everything ourselves, and we are going to completely transform this bathroom. So let's get to it. I wanna hear you say that you only want me. You held me back when I... So we're gonna start by taking down all of the hardware pieces, and then we'll take down this mirror. Then we're gonna start by taking down the light, and then we'll be able to paint behind there, and then we can put the new light in. We're gonna replace this one, and then we also have extra cans that we replaced throughout the rest of the house, so we're going to just replace that can as well. And Felix has his little spot. Oh, I'm sorry, I scared you. You're gonna supervise us today, of course.
Don't be glued, don't be glued. And it's glued.
It is.
I knew this was gonna happen.
All right, we are getting the hiccups out of the way right in the beginning. So the mirror is glued. We were thinking that it wouldn't be glued because the one in our loft wasn't glued, and that just popped off right, like super easy. And because it had the hooks up top, we thought for sure it wouldn't be glued. Kyle actually was not so sure. I was sure it wasn't glued. But I was wrong.
Yeah,
so.
It's not gonna be, it is gonna be kind of inconvenient because of the shape here though. So we're gonna go get some shims. We'll just stick them in the top here, and then slowly pry it away from the wall. And hopefully there's not too much glue behind it, but yeah, I mean, it's like it's pretty solid.
I think we're gonna start by taking all of the hardware out so that Kyle will know exactly like what we need to repair the walls, so that we don't have to make an extra trip to the store. So we'll do that first.
Won't have to go too many times as it is.
Yeah. Now Kyle's gonna call me. He's going downstairs to go shut off the breaker so he can start taking down the light and replacing him with the new one. We won't quite replace him yet, but we'll start painting behind them. Also, none of the breakers are marked, even though it's like a almost 20-year-old house. So Kyle's gonna write down some things when he's out there. Okay, yeah, that turns off the hallway upstairs and the theater room and both of the bathroom lights.
Okay, so that's what we're working on today is off?
Yep, what we're working on is off.
Yes, I'm lost in the fun park now. I can never go around. Drove a spiral going down. Yeah. I've been racing you all through town. There's no limit to your speed. Never ever time to breathe. No, we just fired away without.
And Kyle's up here taking down can light. He's gonna replace it with the ones that we have throughout the rest of the house, and then we'll also get all the wall things patched up so they're ready to go for next week. And then we'll also take down the mirror and get that again patched up so that we're ready to go next week. It's always something with these makeovers.
I think what dates a lot of houses too is this old, they call them witches hats, this old lighting. And you can turn them into flat panel LEDs, which are a lot more efficient, and these are super easy to switch out. And then once you get that out, there's a couple clips you just press, and there's a screw. like any regular light screw. No rewiring, no anything like that.
Pull you back for more. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you'll do to me. I know.
All right, so finally we are going to start tackling the mirror. So what we're gonna do is Kyle's gonna take his utility knife and start cutting around the edge to make sure that there's no like paint buildup holding onto the mirror. And then once we get that detached, then we have a ton of these. I would say they're about a foot long or a little bit longer. And we're gonna take them and like kind of jam them in across the mirror, and then we'll just slowly start like hammering them and wedging them down in. We can even go behind and start wedging it further, and it will eventually kind of pry it away from the wall. There will be some wall damage, fingers crossed it's not too much. There's no other way to get rid of it, so we'll just deal with that as it comes.
I'm so close to victory. I can taste it. Oh.
Heading to Vegas in my blue striped car. She's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart.
All right, it is a new day, and it's actually been a few days since we've chatted with you guys. We had a bit of a holdup because when we opened up our lights that I had ordered, we realized it was just going to look too small for the space. So we went to the stores to see if we could find anything different in stock. Nobody had anything, and so we had to wait a few days for this one to show up. It is much larger. It's a bummer that we had to wait to continue on because it definitely set us back in this project. But I really just feel like if we're gonna go and do all this stuff, you know, just be kind of what we're wanting. So now Kyle has already textured the wall, sanded it. He's gonna go ahead and put up the light, and then I'm going to start painting this glorious lime green color to something a bit more neutral. I think we're actually going to end up painting it Benjamin Moore Pale Oak. We have just loved this color. It's like very neutral, still very light, but not quite like a white or off-white.
Live your life within the moment. And don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. We get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air standing in a nervy.
All right, we have the light up. I'm so happy that we took the extra few days, ordered a different light, because the other one, I just know, especially seeing it, it was gonna be too small. So you can see just from like the little bits that I've cut in and like behind the light, you can start to see the vision for the new bathroom, and it's gonna be 1,000 times better. So right now, all I'm gonna do is take my little e-cloth wall duster and just go along all the walls, especially because Kyle had to repair a lot of areas. I wanna make sure we get all that dust off everything before I start painting. I almost forgot to put my hair up and I would have regretted that because I'm sure I'm gonna get paint like all over my hair.
Had me wondering, putting up a charade, I was stumbling. I need your love.
I don't know if you can see, but like right here in the corner, the previous owners had gotten the green on the countertop backsplash. So I'm actually just gonna take a razor blade and like kind of scrape it off, because if not, then it'll either look green or I'll have to over paint onto the countertop.
Move me to my core. 'Cause when I feel like nobody, like nobody, you got me feeling good, like I'm drowning in your love. You got me feeling good, knock on wood. You got me feeling hurt, like I'm trembling from your touch. You got me feeling hurt, knock on wood.
Alright, I have everything all trimmed out or cut in. I will need to do a second layer on the cut in, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just roll everything, and then that way I can see exactly kind of where I'm at, and also I'll feel a little bit more motivated because I'll start seeing a lot of impact and like just a really big difference.
The ocean breeze on my face, wanted to go as far as we ever could. So many years have passed, but
I did want to encourage you, if you have a space that's really not your style, or maybe it's a little bit outdated, but you're going to have to be doing things like wall repair and things like that. Sometimes people will shy away from that, feeling like you don't have all the skills to do that or you don't know where to start. It is actually a lot easier than you think, but it's definitely more of like a mind game. You just have to kind of power through that. And I can guarantee it's going to look worse before it gets better, but it will get better and you can absolutely do this. So truly, if you have a space like this in your home, look some things up on Google, look some things up on YouTube. You can absolutely tackle your space and you can do it yourself and make it just exactly what you're wanting.
in spite of everything that we lack, nothing compares to the freedom we had. I would do it again if you say the word. So many years have
Also, I did want to quickly mention about this paint. We have used so many different paints in the past, and this one is the Benjamin Moore Regal Select. It is a little bit more pricey. However, it is crazy thick and the coverage is insane. So you are going to have to use a lot less paint and a lot less coats than you would with a lot of other brands. So definitely check it out, and just be aware, a lot of times when you have a thicker paint, you're going to get a lot better coverage. I have a tip for painting behind a toilet. So I'm just using one of these plastic drop cloths. You can definitely buy a smaller one. This is just the one that came in like a paint kit that we had gotten from Costco recently. I'm gonna start with taking the tank off the top, because usually you'll have a little bit of room right behind the tank if you take the top piece off. Then I'm just gonna take this plastic and actually slide it behind the tank, and I'm gonna pull it tight against the tank and kind of tape it off. And that way I've created like a little bubble around your toilet.
Occasionally, I need to breathe. Stop me for a second, I got needs. Occasionally, I set them free. Don't hold me back now, I'm in the lead. This particle life.
All right, I'm gonna have to do one, maybe two more coats in here, just because this is semi-gloss that I was going over in a really bright color. But you can see the bathroom is just changing right before your eyes, and I'm so happy about this. This is the first, big step of many.
Now, 'cause lately, I've been dancing on my own so bravely. Now they're round on my mind.
I finally got the final coat on, and it's looking so good in here. It just looks so fresh. But I have a little bit of time before I have to go get the kids from school, and I wanted to show you what I've been up to. I just started actually scrubbing the grout because it's pretty rough in here, like probably the worst grout in the house. And I'm like, I can't have like a brand new, you know, beautiful bathroom and then have disgusting floors and grout. So I grabbed my Zep grout cleaner and brightener, and this stuff works incredible, but I just wanted to show you in person how well that works. You see how much brighter and cleaner that is. It looks so good, and I haven't even like, you know, really wiped it down. That's just like getting everything off. It looks amazing. Welcome to another day. I believe we're on day 3 right now. We still have more to go, but today we are going to start letting this bathroom really start to take shape. I am so excited for the things that we're gonna do because this is really going to be like the backdrop to all the little details we'll add in. So our focus today is actually to paint a little hand painted stencil on here. So I'm not using any kind of template or anything, but it is going to be very simple. Fingers crossed I can make it look as nice as I saw in the picture, and I hope that'll look really nice just to add a little like extra interest behind the mirror. And then I'm also going to be painting the vanity, but you can see it's just like very light. It definitely is not white because the baseboards are like true white. So is the window, but it is still light, and so I didn't want to do white on the vanity. So instead, I am using Beyond Paint again. We used them before, and this color is called Pebble. We are going to add in some hardware on here, but even just adding the hardware and painting the vanity will make such a huge difference. They're not really large areas, so I'm hoping it'll go fast, but this kind of thing always takes longer than you expect, so we better go ahead and get started. This is meant to look very, you know, organic or just very imperfect. Like it's not supposed to be, you know, exact. My tendency when I'm like, you know, writing on a chalkboard or something like that is like eventually you start to go down, and I do want it to go straight across, straight up and down, and then like the actual paint will kind of take care of the imperfections itself. So I think I'm actually going to take this and, you know, just tape it across. I'll tape it like here, and then I'll know like, okay, paint in this square, paint in this square, paint in this square. And then as I paint, I will just move the tape down and off to the side and things like that. This will all be trial and error, so hopefully less error.
Every time you touch me, I can't control my body.
It looks a little wild, but it actually has a plan to it, and I think it's gonna look really cool. Hopefully it'll look just like this picture and I'll love it, but we'll see. So we're actually just using a basic white paint just because we already had it, so it just kind of kept things more in budget, and it'll just be like a basic white over this light color.
I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I'm giving up.
I am still gonna need to do another coat on here, but look how pretty that is. Like it's very subtle, and the mirror is going to go over the middle of it, and it really took like no time at all, but I love that subtle effect there. So now that we have that done, Kyle's gonna go ahead and drill the holes for these, and then once he gets that drilled, I can go ahead and start painting. I did this process in Montana with the same Beyond Paint, it was just a different color. I think this should go pretty quick. Famous last words.
We got a summer of the kind of movie love, all in for some more of anything that comes along.
If you're planning to add hardware to your cabinets that don't have hardware, I think all of our bathrooms actually don't have hardware at this point, but if you plan to do that yourself, I definitely recommend getting a cabinet jig. You can find them usually for a pretty good deal, and they make the job so much easier. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, but next I'm just going to be cleaning out the inside of our cabinets and wiping everything down, and then I will go ahead and tape along the edge of the vanity.
I know we're moving fast, and some say we won't last, but I will be alright as long as I know I'm with you. Oh, forever summer high. I know that we'll be fine. Letting go and go free fall, living on top of the world. Blue skies and night winds, never keeping track of time. Sun and skin driving, and all I can breathe is you. So
Okay, so we are all taped off, everything's all cleaned up. This is the paint that I'm going to be using. It's called Beyond Paint, and up in Montana at my mom's Airbnb, we actually just use like the white paint, but this one is called Pebble, and it's a really, really pretty brown color. It's very, very, very thick. It stretches so well. So the thing about it is, for any like crevice, you just want to take a paintbrush, you just stipple into all the crevices, and then every single area that you absolutely like could possibly use a roller, you just use a nap roller. On the back of the can, it does have all the instructions for this, so don't feel intimidated. But one of the things that I love about this product is that you don't have to like strip the wood, you don't have to sand or anything. You just want to clean it up, obviously, and then it basically does the work for you, and it just gives like such a professional finish. It looks incredible. That is looking so good already, just with the very first coat. So I'm gonna let this dry for a few minutes, and while it's drying, we're gonna clean up the cabinet and drawer fronts and then get those painted as well.
I always knew I'd be the one to care a little bit way too much. So now I'm gonna make a fuss. It has always been about you, never been a table set for two. You never care a little bit, not much. So now I'm gonna make a fuss.
Okay, so I have the drawer fronts all painted. This stuff dries so quickly. These are like totally dry already. I'm gonna go ahead and get a second coat started on the actual vanity itself. So to help me paint these cabinets, I am actually using disposable cups to just set them on, and that way I can get to all the edges very easily. And I'm also on purpose starting with the backs of the cabinets. That way I can get all the coats painted on the backs of the cabinets, and then once those are dry, I'll be able to flip those over and then paint the fronts. And since the fronts of the cabinets are the pieces that are going to be seen most, I just wanted to do those last, and then that way those ones didn't actually have to flip over and be supported on the cups or anything like that. Not that I think they're going to be scratched, but just, you know, to be a little extra safe. All right, now we have the drawer fronts painted with 2 coats, the main vanity is painted with 2 coats, and the back side of these are painted with 2 coats. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and wait, let them fully dry, then I'll flip the cabinet covers or the cabinet fronts over and give those a few coats, probably give the vanity another coat, and then we might be good to go. They don't look like they need another coat, but I just wanna make sure that it's going to be very, very durable, easy to clean, and just good to go. is a new day, and today should be the final day of our bathroom makeover. If you guys can remember what it looked like when we first started, it is just so different now. And you can see that stencil kind of settle on the wall. The cabinets are all dry, and I love the color like even more than when I was painting it on. It just dried so beautifully. It really looks like a professional paint job. In my opinion, like this paint is just incredible. So today we are going to be kind of tying up all the loose ends, adding in all of those perfect little decorative details to kind of make this space feel custom and just totally our style. All right, so I just wanted to give you a really quick overview of the cabinets and how they're looking. Look at how nice that looks. I don't know if you can see, but it's just like the finish is so beautiful. We need to get all of the cabinets put back on. Kyle has all of the hinges and everything, so we need to get all of the doors put back on, and then we are going to add this beautiful hardware on. And then once we get that done, we're going to be putting up the mirror, working on the DIY shelves over here, like just all those little pieces, and I cannot wait. It's turning out so good.
I'm wondering how many men that you trapped and dumped in the ocean. I wish that I could understand why I had this stupid crush. The girl next door is over there being perfect, getting the roses. I bet that you don't even care if my body drifts ashore. But if you ask me, I'm pretty sure that I'll come running. Though I should say, no, 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 no. Here in the ocean, nobody can hear you screaming. And if I knew better, I would never need the rush. And if I just think twice, I never would have had this feeling. I should have said, no, 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 no. I've never choose to let this slip, but I'm here somewhere in the ocean. Still wrapped around your fingertip, just like beating round the bush.
So Kyle's actually going to be just taking off this middle door because the next step is to replace this faucet with our newer matte black modern one. And this door is just gonna be like kind of getting in the way.
Yeah, probably should have thought about that before we put it back on.
That's okay, at least we gotta see kind of how it'll look for a minute.
If I knew better, I would never need the rush. And if I just think twice, I never would have had this feeling. I should have said, no, 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 no. But if you asking me, I'm pretty sure that I'll come running. Though I should say, no, 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 no. Here in the ocean, nobody can hear you screaming. And if I knew better, I would never need the rush.
I'm going to just put on these self-adhesive clear pads. Basically, they're just stoppers for the cabinet doors. I had to replace the old ones because of course I painted on the inside of the cabinets, and then also the old ones were literally like 20 years old and they were turning to jelly, so we got some new ones to replace that.
With you, I feel like breaking rules on the edge, looking out with no parachute. You know I'm dreaming about us two, playing around without a clue. On the edge, leaning out. With us, it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us, it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you're asleep. With us, it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need
Well,
more of you.
the faucet gave us a little run for our money, pretty much Kyle, but he got it all set up. So the faucet is there, we have all the cabinet pulls and all of the cabinet fronts on, and finally we are ready to put the mirror up and then also put like the toilet paper holder, like all the bathroom hardware. The cats are in the window enjoying all that fresh air that we have. We had to open the windows because like once you start with plumbing and like the P-trap and all the pipes, it just, the smell is not very desirable. But good news is we are finally kind of plugging along today. It's taken a lot longer than we were planning, but if it wasn't, then it wouldn't be like a real makeover, right? So all you do is like you take the monkey hook, like if this is your drywall, you poke it through the drywall and then it pokes up.
What are you doing?
Trying to explain this. You poke it that way and then it like puts pressure against it.
Okay.
It's my official way of explaining it.
All
Anyway,
right.
and then you're left with this little hook that sticks out of the wall and you just have like a tiny little nail hole basically in your wall, so there's not like a ton of repair if you decide to take it down.
No, they just don't. With us, it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. With us, it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. You say it during night, but in the morning you just leave. I need more of. With us, it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you.
All right, next on our list, we are getting ready to cut the shelves, the DIY shelves, and then we've been playing back and forth on whether or not we were gonna do the board and batten, and after looking at it, like now that we have the mirror in there and just a lot of things coming together, we have decided we are going to do the board and batten. I don't think it's gonna be too much, but I think it's going to really like pull that space together. So at the moment, Kyle's using the board and batten pieces to kind of level this wood. We'll be able to get several shelves out of this. Like we're not gonna use them all today, but it's just a really nice piece of wood.
We collide, we break down, caving in to our doubts, faces filled with sadness. When words are said, we'll regret. I can see the fire that
I am going to be starting with 100 grit sandpaper to get it, the bulk of it kind of smoothed out. And then I'm going to finish it with some 220 grit sandpaper. This is just really smooth and it'll just make it like soft to the touch.
we can't be hurting together. This is the hard way. We can't be hard.
All right, we are, I don't know if you can even tell, but we are actually losing daylight. We probably have like 45 minutes here, but Kyle's been behind me. He's been starting to cut like the board and batten, and I have the two shelves sanded, like the rough grit and the fine grit. And now I'm just gonna add some pre-stained wood conditioner. This is going to basically like make it not blotchy, make it like a smoother finish, and just overall give like a better stained product. And then I'm going to use my favorite stain, the Behr Early American wood stain, but we have to get the wood conditioner on first, wipe that off, let that dry for at least 30 minutes before we can actually stain it. So I'm gonna get the wood conditioner on, then we'll actually head upstairs, maybe start putting up the board and batten, and then hopefully by that time we're ready to stain the wood. We are definitely losing sunlight out here. You can see it like barely peeking behind the trees.
You're working hard tonight. Putting in overtime.
Yep.
I was looking like a
For the board and batten, we are just using 3.5 inch MDF. This is also pre-painted, which just makes the process a little bit easier. And then you'll see when we get into the bathroom, but we actually used a strip of quarter round along the bottom. And we only did that because our baseboards are actually curved at the top. And so that way it was just a little bit more of a seamless transition between our curved baseboards and the straight edge of the board and batten. We put the top of the board and batten at about 5 feet tall, and then we stuck one piece of MDF on the bottom, 2 on the sides, and then we just measured everything out evenly to add 3 boards in the middle. And then Kyle's just attaching them to the wall using a nail gun, and then we'll go ahead and caulk all the inside seams and then paint it.
fool for you.
I love how the board and batten turned out. It looks obviously not finished. Like we still have to caulk all the all the holes in there. We need to do all the edging so that it looks nice and finished, and then I will have to give it a coat of white paint just to match the baseboards and everything. So we're just gonna do white, which would be perfect because that's the same white that I did this little stencil with. So it'll just kind of tie everything together, but still keep things pretty neutral and subtle. But now we have officially lost light, but I'm gonna go outside and just stain those shelves, and we'll see how far we can get tonight.
Like a diamond, you alone. You cut my heart like glass, just like that. Like a lion, uncontrolled. Your mark is on my back, just like that. In it for the big thrill. Yeah, you play games with my mind, always, all of the time. In it for the big win. Yeah, you own all of my mind, always, all of the time, all the time. Collide with me, come high with me, and I'll go for you. Divine and free, go ride with me. Yeah, we'll go.
Welcome back to the 5th day and final day of the bathroom makeover again. Today is actually going to be the day. We cannot go any further on this. I feel like we thought it was going to be just so much faster because it is a really, you know, not super large space. We aren't even doing anything like that crazy in here, like just changing up some things, painting a bunch of stuff, and you know, we just thought we could get it done a lot quicker. And then of course, having that first big setback really made it difficult to fit this into our schedule and everything. So it's been a little bit of a trial, but it is not even the same bathroom that we started with. We're loving how everything is turning out. We do have the board and batten up now. The shelves have been drying overnight, so we have 2 of them. They're all set and ready to go up. So that's the first thing we're gonna do, and then once that's done, like, we just get to decorate and do all the little fun details in here. I am so excited to see it all come together today.
I know the way that you think about me, but I don't wanna know the truth. I hear the things that they say about me, but I don't wanna know the truth. Don't you ever wanna run away?
So to install the shelves, we are just using L brackets. We're putting them into studs. But the cool thing is we're mounting them this way. You guys love all my explanations, so technical. So the shelf is just going to sit on top of the bottom of the L bracket, and then we'll screw in the shelf just to make sure it doesn't slide or anything. And then that's why I'm actually just coloring the bottom pieces of this with Sharpie, because you're never gonna see like the top pieces or anything. You may see the side, and you'll mostly just see the bottom underneath the shelf, but it'll kind of look like this. My thought is ideally it would be great if it was like totally floating. Floating shelves are awesome, but they are, you know, just way more tricky to put up and to make and everything. And so this option will just be a lot easier to do. And because we do have a lot of black accents in the wall, it just won't really like distract from anything. It'll just keep it nice and seamless.
Change for you, and I break these walls too. I would change just for you. I can't get you out of my mind. I can't get you out of my mind. I think right now you are sick of talking, and that the fire seemed to fade, and I know we're hanging on to something. That's
The shelves are up. They're looking so nice. We have everything done in here that we were hoping to accomplish, other than a little bit of cleaning, like I need to clean the mirrors and all that kind of stuff, and decorating. So let's get this place decorated and see how everything came together.
Before your life was so boring, I got up, went to work just to get back home and repeat. Before you, I just felt nothing. I didn't dare to take risks. Now we
One thing that I wanted to do in here was add like a little bit of like a vintage vibe mixed with the modern touches. Like we have the board and batten. We have this pretty picture frame. I just got it from Walmart. It was like $9 something, and it just has like a really unique border. So I just found this really pretty print on Etsy. It's just like a wildflower picture, but it's pretty small. It's just an 8 by 10, and I wanted this to be a little bit larger. So instead I got an 11 by 14 mat, and then the frame is chunky on top of that. So it's going to give like a bigger impact while still being pretty subtle.
We know we can work it out, baby. Ooh, you make me wanna shout at the top of my lungs. You make me wanna jump when you tell me to jump. You make me wanna love like I'm 20 years young.
And then to attach these to the wall, I'm just going to be using my Velcro command strips. You guys know I love these and I'll use them any chance I get. So majority of the decor items that I'm going to be using in our bathroom are actually things that I already had around the house, so I'm just kind of repurposing them. A few of the items I did pick up, like I picked up this cute vase from World Market, and then I also had gotten plants maybe like a week ago or so, and I didn't want to overwhelm the space, but I did want to add just a couple things in here to, one, add a little bit of function, and then also add a little personality and kind of bring a little bit more life into our neutral backdrop of a bathroom. I am also adding in this rug, and I love this rug. I feel like it's so pretty. I love the style of it. And I'm also adding some rug tape just to keep it in place. And one thing about this rug that I did want to make sure to share is it's actually an outdoor runner rug. And the reason I love outdoor runner rugs for inside spaces is because they're very thin and they can also be washed in your washing machine as well.
You make me wanna love like I'm 20 years young. With you I'm not the same. With you I'm not afraid. You make me wanna run, 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 run.
So this is something I definitely do not do all the time, but I wanted to go the extra mile with it today because this is going to be more decorative toilet paper. Obviously it's there that if you really need it, you can of course grab one, but most of the time I think this will end up staying on the shelf. But all you do for this is just fold it into a point and then wet your faucet and push the point up to the faucet, and it will create like a stamped effect, and it just looks so pretty. So I'm just adding a few functional and decor items onto the shelves that we made. So we have those beautiful live plants, also some toilet paper, a picture frame that I will one day fill, and then some vases, and also this room spray that smells amazing.
Lunch dates and coffee breaks, Tuesdays and random days. It's how we spend the worst days of our lives. Your sister doesn't like me much.
This is what our bathroom looked like just days before, if you can remember it. We had that crazy bright and shiny lime green wall. We had those builder grade cabinets, the builder grade mirror, and just nothing special about this bathroom, but everything kind of obnoxious. And here is the after. It is just such a difference now. We have really just made this bathroom the perfect mix of modern and traditional, and we've been really intentional with all of our details that we've added into this space. So of course we started out by painting it this beautiful subtle palette with the Benjamin Moore pale oak color. We also took down that builder grade mirror and replaced it with this round mirror with this really simple hand-drawn stencil behind it to add just a little extra interest. Now we did keep the countertop as it was, but I did paint the vanity in that pebble color from Beyond Paint, and we also added in those beautiful modern cabinet pulls. And above all of that, we changed out the lighting for something a little bit more modern, and I also love the round shape of those that complemented the mirror really well. We of course changed out that really dated hardware around the bathroom for the matte black hardware, as well as a really pretty new faucet. And peeking behind the mirror, you can kind of see that board and batten that goes along the entire left wall. It's very simple, but it also creates a lot of interest interest and just makes the space feel very custom and very intentional. And of course, we finished everything off with touches like the hand towel, that vintage print that I put up on the wall next to the mirror. We also added in those beautiful chunky wooden shelves, and then we added in all of the live plants and a few decor items, and it just all came together so wonderfully. I love this bathroom. It's just amazing how much the space was transformed in just a few days and on a budget. Now, you guys may know we actually have 2 more bathrooms kind of like this. Our boys' bathrooms are Jello green and Pepto-Bismol pink, so we have our hands full with those coming up. But I would love to hear what you loved about this bathroom and what things you would love to see us do in their bathrooms, and anything that you didn't love in this bathroom, let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely be taking everything into consideration. And if you want to get caught up on all the rest of our makeovers that we've done in our house, in our old homes, in our friends and family's homes, I'm going to leave our home makeover playlist right here so you can go ahead and check that out. And I cannot wait to see you next week in a brand new deep cleaning video. We are getting down and dirty and getting everything in my kitchen and living room scrubbed nice and clean. So you guys do not want to miss out on all that motivation coming up, as well as all the other videos that we have planned for this year. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.